Welcome to the Silverthorne Pulse. I'm Kim Jardim with the Town of Silverthorne, and I'm here today with Town Manager Ryan Highland, and we're going to recap the July 12th Town Council meeting. So let's jump in, Ryan, with work session first. So we had a council vacancy to fill, and there were some interviews at the work session regarding filling that new appointment.
That's correct. We had, I think as everybody's aware, Chris Karen is moving to unincorporated Summit County, and so she has vacated that seat, and council wanted to interview a few folks that they had interviewed when we had a vacancy back in March. And so Craig Phillips, who's one of our planning commissioners, and John Glassman, who's a community member, came in for interviews, and both outstanding. And I'll just leave a little suspense. The actual appointment comes in the regular meeting, so we'll talk about that in a few minutes. But council very appreciative of both of their interest and willingness to serve their community. Craig is already serving on the Planning Commission, and so council was very appreciative of all the things that he's done to this point.
Great. Excellent. And under Town Manager reports and updates, there was some discussion about the strategic housing plan update.
Yeah, we have a strategic housing plan, and we did receive a grant recently to update that. And so we've been working through that process with a consultant, had an open house at the June 27th evening at the Pavilion. And so Lena Lesmus, our housing manager, kind of walked council through some of the feedback that we had heard there, and just continuing to update that plan. And I think in a couple of months we'll have an opportunity to go through that final draft with the council.
Excellent. We are looking for a new police chief at the town of Silverthorne, and that's a process. We have an outside agency helping us in terms of recruitment. Can you give us an update on that?
Yeah, KRW is the firm that we're working with on that recruitment, and I guess it was about a week and a half ago that application period closed, and so we received 22 applications, and we are going through those along with KRW right now to kind of figure out what our next steps are in interviewing, and we will certainly have opportunities for public engagement when we get to kind of the finalist level of that process. And stay tuned. So hoping to, by the fall, have a new police chief on board.
So jumping into our regular council meeting, Councilmember Spagnolia had some comments regarding the recent tragic incident in our community.
Yeah, obviously we've experienced a significant event for our community, and the loss of life of a Silverthorne resident, Charlie Foster. And so there are lots of connections in our community, and Tanisha is connected with Charlie's mother and aunt through childcare. And so she had reached out to the family and asked if there were things that they would like for her to share in the meeting about Charlie. And so Tanisha did that, and about the type of person that he was, and the things that he was interested in, and what he meant to his family and friends. And then there was a moment of silence, and then we had some more conversation. The mayor addressed all of those connections in the community and how this impacts so many people, including the law enforcement community, and some conversation about mental health. I know that the council very much support Building Hope and other organizations through funding and otherwise. And so just an acknowledgement of what everyone is going through, moment of silence, and then we moved on with the rest of the meeting.
I do recall Building Hope pulled together a meeting of the community rather quickly following that, which was fantastic.
Yeah, they had walk-in opportunities, I believe, here at the high school for anyone who's impacted.
So action items during the council meeting, we had a resolution approving a agreement with for the Smith Ranch affordable apartments that are under construction right now. So that's just another step in the process, right?
Yeah, it's really just it's a subordination agreement on the apartments, and I think for the general public, paperwork, I'd call it. That project everyone has seen is under construction, moving forward, and so just really an administrative item.
Okay, great. We had two ordinances related to two property purchases on Rainbow Drive that the town has purchased.
Yeah, we're, as we've mentioned before, we're a little bit behind some of the other municipalities with respect to owning units for Town of Silverthorne employees, which is very helpful when we're trying to recruit and retain our employees. So purchase of a two-bedroom unit on Rainbow Drive, and then the other ordinance was the authority to sell a unit that we had purchased recently. And so when we're recruiting and landing new employees, those units are really important, but I think we have an opportunity to deed restrict and sell one of those. So we have the authority to do that. May not do that immediately, but maybe before the fall we might have one that goes on the market.
Great. And we have a new employee that was present at the council meeting last night to meet council who's benefiting from that housing.
Jeremy Perkle's our new water sewer manager, coming from Georgia, and so a great example of if we didn't have a landing spot, that I don't think we would have been successful in getting him here. So council's been very supportive of purchasing those units, and we are putting them to good use.
Great. Well, that was a quick meeting, quick recap as well. But we'll be back for the 2nd July meeting, and I think we've covered it all.
That's right.
Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.
Hi. Kim and I forgot, after we mentioned building suspense about our new council member, to actually cover that item. So very quickly, we're pleased to announce council made a motion, and there was unanimous support to appoint Jonna Glassman as our new town council member, filling the seat that was vacated by Chris Karen. Jonna comes to us from the nonprofit profession. She, for a number of years, worked with FERC as their food equity supervisor, and is currently working with Northwest Council of Governments as their Medicare coordinator, which takes her all throughout the regions of Northwest COG. So congratulations to Jonna. She will be sworn in at our next town council meeting on July 26th, and we're looking forward to working with her.